So I do want to share with everybody that this tech talk is called Move Over Uber, Self-Driving Payroll is here. And I am the Chief Marketing Officer for a company called Daily Pay. And if you turn around, there are Daily Pay people in blue shirts in case you have any questions. Let me just say that I don't like pitches, so this isn't a sales pitch. If you want to see the sales pitch, you can go to booth 1128. I'm going to talk to you about stuff that changes the world that we live in. So since you didn't all scream that loud, raise your hand if you would like to change the world for the better. Okay, now everyone look around and see who didn't raise their hand. I saw these napkins and they said, I used to drink for good. I stopped drinking for good, but now I drink for evil, right? So you either want to do something great for the world or you don't. We're here to talk about changing the world for the better. So let me ask you one more question before I get started. How many people here like to get paid? Anybody work for free? All right. So this presentation has a number of fun facts and a number of statistics. One of the fun facts is that there's not a person in this world who doesn't enjoy getting paid. People typically come to work for money, despite what you hear about millennials and Gen Z. People need to get paid. It's the way that we survive. But I will tell you there's been a significant shift in the world as we know it. So back in the day, I'm from Pittsburgh, and back in our Steel Town days, yay, Pittsburgh! There's some Pittsburgh people here, thank you. It was a company-led world. The Rockefellers, all of those guys that had the steel mills, they said, you will live here because you will work here. You will come when we tell you, you will get paid what we want to pay you, you will do what we want you to do, or you will die and your family will starve. So the world has changed. And sometimes when I show this slide, I look around and ask who's never heard of the Jetsons, and there are people who's never heard of the Jetsons, but y'all look like you might have heard of the Jetsons. Today's world is very different. Today's world is an employee-led universe. It is where employees decide where they want to work. Do they want to work from home? Do they want to work at an organization? Do they want to be social? Do they not? How they want to work. I read a statistic that said people are spending 3 hours a day on social media because they're working at night when it's quiet at their house. So we're not getting less productive, we're just working differently. And in an employee-driven world, it is our responsibility to create an employee-driven universe. So Uber set the bar. Uber transformed transportation with 7 different elements. And I'm happy to share these slides with anybody. You can take a picture if you want. They eliminated costs that were prohibitive. They encouraged increased productivity based on their assets and employment rates. They used cutting-edge technology. They introduced variable and flexible pricing models. Convenient and frictionless payment that you all hear about when you hear about why Uber was a success, why it was good at transforming what it did, why this is what's happening in the payroll industry right now. They implemented quality control, and they were tough and fearless. Now let me tell you, if you are sitting here right now, or for all of those people who are not sitting here who wish that they were, we in the HR industry are tough and we are fearless because our employees are demanding that. And for our businesses to succeed, we need to do something that is different, something that is frictionless, something that addresses the 2 types of employees that you have in your organization. Now I will tell you, you have only 2 types of people in your organization. They are either Aaron or they are Maggie. So Aaron is a person, man, woman, gender neutral, an employee who requires income now. Not tomorrow, not in a week, not on the 15th, not on the 30th, not on Friday, not cash tips and they have to wait for their credit card tips. 87% of people in the workforce are errands. They are employees who are living paycheck to paycheck and they need their money when they need their money. If you're not an errand, then you are a Maggie. And a Maggie is a millennial and a Gen Z worker who gets instant everything. My 21-year-old daughter got a credit card. She called me freaking out that Discover was trying to destroy her life because it won't let her pay her bill. She charged something yesterday. She wanted to pay it today. I was trying to explain to her that her statement hasn't posted yet, so she just can't pay it. She thought I was insane. Why would you wait? Why would you make me wait 30 days to let me pay you? Millennials and Gen Zs grew up in this digitally native world. They get instant everything. Instant cars, instant food, instant service. If they're not getting an instant access to the funds that they've earned, you, as an employer, are screwing up. It's very interesting, but there's two types of employees that you have, and we have got to do something to make our world accommodate our two types of employees. When we do, the world changes for the better. There's 4 numbers up here because I love numbers. But when you implement an earned wage access system, a daily pay benefit, these 4 things happen to your company. And this is a promise. You can write it down. I'm being recorded. So if it doesn't work, you can come see me. But at a minimum, you will see 3 times increased productivity. Because when you introduce self-driving payroll, immediate access to your earned wages, there is transparency. And when someone can see how much money they have earned, they make smarter decisions. If I earned $487 this week and my daughter has a soccer tournament and I need to get her new shoes, I need to pick up another shift. If I see that on a Tuesday, guess what? I don't call off on Wednesday. If I earned $4,234 this week, guess what? I'm not coming in for about a month. So you will get increased productivity. These are numbers, and the podcast guys said, don't believe companies, go believe their clients. You call any one of our clients, they will give you these numbers. Earned wage access, daily pay benefits, increased productivity 3 times. They increase talent acquisition by an average of 53%. Having trouble getting the right people to respond to your ads? Maybe you need to rewrite your ads, or maybe you need to let them know that you're going to pay them daily. They can get access to their money whenever they want it. 53% more increases in applications with high quality. Up to 71% reduced turnover. If I work at a fast food restaurant that's paying me $10 an hour, and I get another offer from another fast food restaurant that wants to pay me $12, but I have to wait 2 weeks or even 4 weeks to get that money, I'm going to stay right where I am. So it's very interesting for companies that have over 100% turnover, and I talked to a few people yesterday in the casino industry that have 180% turnover. People will stay when they get access to their money. You're giving them the employee-led experience. And the last number, 95% reduction in cash till fraud. If you work in an industry where there is a cash register or access to money, and somebody needs to buy a prescription, they need to buy food, more importantly, they need to buy gas to get to their job or to be able to get home, and you don't give them a way to access the funds that they earned, they will, out of desperation, take it. The amazing news is when you give them access to their own money, they would much rather use their own money. But I talked a lot, so don't take this from me. I'm going to play this video.
Hi, my name is Russ Jenkins, and I live in San Diego, California, one of the most beautiful and probably, in my opinion, the greatest state in the entire United States, but also one of the most expensive. I want to talk to you about daily pay. The first time that I used daily pay was Christmas. I had bills that I needed to pay, so I didn't know where to turn. Then I remembered that my company had said that they recently contracted with daily pay. It was easy to sign up for it the first time, and I was surprised how quickly I got the money. I made my expenses, and how I felt after was I felt empowered. I felt that I had something that I could count on when things go bad. I live in California alone. I don't have any family. I'm single. This is a resource that helped me feel more independent. And I want to say thank you to my employer for contracting daily pay. And I want to say thank you to daily pay.
So I mentioned early on, I'm the Chief Marketing Officer, and someone asked me what my marketing strategy was for Daily Pay. And I said, my marketing strategy is to speak as little as possible. It's the employees that should have the voice. It's our employers that should have the voice, and typically we just bring employers up here and we let everyone ask them hard questions, but I thought it might be better to have employees talk to you today. These aren't scripted. We send an email out once a month and say, hey, you're using Daily Pay, tell us do you like it, do you not like it. We get our product enhancements and roadmap off of that, but these are real stories from real people. They're more authentic than any great marketing team could come up with, but it shows the power of employee-led organizations where you have access to the pay as you earn it, right? So this is HR Tech. I've been coming to this show for way too many years. I'm like, all right, we have to say something techie, and I don't want to do a demo because you can go see that at the booth. But I wanted to give you 5 techie things you need to know when you're going to improve your employees' lives. So who's in for improving their employees' lives? Anybody? Just like half of you. Who's in for destroying your employees' lives? Who would like to come up and talk about that? Okay, so I'm going to assume that the other half of you are too busy taking pictures and putting posts on Instagram and Twitter about how amazing this is. You just couldn't put your arm up. Or you've got a big bag full of swag, one of the two. But here's 5 things you need to know about improving your employee lives from an HR tech perspective. Uber did this. They improved frictionless service. If it doesn't make life easier for your people, it's not the right solution. If it's too confusing, if it's too difficult, if it takes 23 steps to implement, it doesn't work. When you decide to get an Uber, you pull out your Uber app and say, this is where I'm going. When you're gonna look at a Daily Pay benefit product, you wanna pull out your app and press a button and get your money. Number 2, financial security starts with transparency. So our CEO, Jason Lee, he likes to call all the stuff that's out there about financial wellness vendorazzi. A bunch of vendors that have financial wellness products that are awesome, but they want you to believe that it's all about financial wellness, and of course it's all about financial wellness, but it starts with transparency. Seeing how much money you have earned enables you to make smart decisions, and I've been talking to people about the landslide. If you miss one payment and you get charged a $20 to $30 non-sufficient funds check fee, within 1 week the landslide causes you $437 in average debt. You couldn't pay your electric bill, just bad mistake for whatever reason, you didn't have the funds. That NSF fee comes in, you can't cover it before your next bill is due. It's a landslide. If you can see how much money you have earned, and you have access to it, you can make smart decisions that stop the landslide. You can get to 0 and then you can start saving. So financial security starts with transparency. Technology enables us to provide financial security. And here, I already talked about this one. Avoiding one non-sufficient funds fee can stop a $437 landslide. An average of $1,400 to $1,800 a year is paid by the 87% of employees living paycheck to paycheck in non-sufficient funds, return check fees, high finance charges. It's a lot of money. You can avoid that with technology. This last one, I am not the compliance and legislation guru. I'm totally not. I'm the marketing girl. But I can tell you in this industry, when you're looking at daily pay benefits, compliance and legislation matter a lot. So there are some companies out there that are payday loan companies. If a company is going into your bank account to put money in or take it out, they are a payday loan company. Compliance and legislation organizations are now identifying who those are and stopping them. As employers, we all have a responsibility to stop the guys who are increasing debt and use compliance and legislative changes to support proactive and positive ways to work harder and faster for our employees. Last but not least, has anybody ever picked up a half a donut and ate it when they weren't desperate? So when I was pregnant, I was 8.5 months pregnant, and I was at JCPenney at the time, and they accidentally made the biggest mistake of their life and let me order the food for a big meeting. And I was really hungry. We fed churches. We fed 3 different churches with all the uneaten food. So when you have an excess of food, it's kind of okay, you can feed others. But when you're only getting 50% of your food, it's really never enough. Getting people their paychecks when you feel like it's acceptable, never enough. Giving them their money half the way through the month, never enough. Giving them access to only half of their funds, never enough. When you have transparency to see how much you've earned and the availability to access that money whenever you want to, that's enough. And that enables us to move into a world where we can all thrive. And here's my last bonus point, since it is HR Tech and these are all vendors and a lot of companies out here, you have to get significant dollars to invest in order to put your service. You should be working with a daily pay benefit company that costs nothing to implement. How's that for an ROI statement to take back to your company? I found this great technology and I would like to implement it, and by the way, it costs nothing. It's going to increase our retention by 71%. It is going to reduce fraud by 95%. It's going to increase productivity by 3 times, and yes, the cost is 0. The employees will use it when they need it. If they don't need it, they don't pay anything. But those are the secrets that you all have to empower your employees. So just like an Uber, don't wait. Get in the car, be bold, be fearless, and do something phenomenal today. And with that, I say thank you.